this thing that I have found is what I would call my gracious space. Hi folks, Jack Carlisle here with Gracious Spaces. I thank you for tuning in. We have an amazing guest today. We have the wonderful Kelli Mayo. How you doing this morning, Kelli?
I'm doing very good, yeah.
Very good. I love that. Thanks for rolling with our kind of Indian style, freestyle, whatever you want to call it here. When I was sort of thinking about this interview with you and doing a little research, I thought this is the perfect vibe for us.
Yeah.
You Indian style is so Kelli Mayo, I thought. Is that good?
It's really good, yeah. I came in and I just took my shoes off. Yeah. Started admiring this beautiful rug. I don't know if the viewers can see the beautiful rug. It's a very nice rug.
Thank you very much. I searched high and low for this rug.
Really?
And there you go. Perfect.
Rug shopping is hard.
It can be, right?
It is, yeah.
Well, welcome. And I really thank you for your time. You are one busy gal right now. So you folks, Kelli Mayo, and she is with Skating Polly.
Yeah.
One of the top up-and-coming, ongoing punk bands I should say America, but you're getting ready to go on tour as well to Europe.
Yeah. So yeah, we're going back over to Europe. I think it's like our 7th time in the UK and our 5th time in Europe, something like that. Yeah, I'm stoked. It's always really cool going over there. I like all the tours we do, but Europe is especially fun because we have a tour manager who we're really fond of, and he does all the driving and takes us to all the spots.
So he's driving, you're sleeping in the back in between.
Yeah, and in the States, we're splitting the drive, it's like...
Well, tell me a little bit about that fan difference. So U.S. fans versus European, are they a little crazier over here, over there? What makes that different?
There are some cities that are just, every time you hit them, they're pretty electric. Like for us, Minneapolis, Chicago, Oklahoma City, or Norman, because we're originally from Oklahoma.
It's a big fan base there.
Yeah, but then so there are like a lot of like really appreciative fans over here in the States, but when you go over to Europe, there is this sense of like, I can't believe you came from another country for us, And I think like having an accent to them is just, it makes you a little bit cooler. Like you're just like,
I love that. Well, and you just said that they are appreciative of you coming to them.
Yeah.
But I would imagine you're up there on stage going, wow, you came out to see us.
Oh yeah.
And it's like this, you rub my back, I'll rub your back kind of thing.
No, absolutely. Like, what's really crazy is we've played shows before in Europe where we can't really communicate with the audience. That it's a mostly non-English speaking audience, but they can sing along to our songs still.
I love that.
And that's an insane feeling. Like, it also makes the in-between banter kind of awkward because I just got to remember they don't care about the in-between end of the song.
So does that change your performance? Do you do more sort of improv like motions and hand, does it versus verbal?
Well, I think, I just try not to, lollygag in between songs as much or tell backstories behind songs because it's not going to mean much to them. But that's funny because there was this time we played somewhere in France, and I can't remember. It was our first ever tour in France, and it was a smaller city, and we maybe had like 15 people, which honestly we were still stoked about. Our first like headlining 15? Show, we were like, this feels great.
I love that.
And I remember asking the audience like, who can speak English? And no one raised their hand, and I was like, oh. And we started having all these technical difficulties. So like our guitar amp completely went out, and then like my bass was cutting in and out, and just it was just like thing on thing on thing on thing, and I like tried to like sing a song a cappella, and then my brother like drum soloed through it, and I was like, oh god.
Well, was it well received though? I bet
I don't know. That one was just literally my worst nightmare.
I love that you remember there were 15 people there, but you can't remember what you did on stage pretty much.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, no, that was worst case scenario. Because usually if people can't, usually the key is to keep playing songs. But when you can't talk to them and you can't keep playing songs, it's scary.
Does that change your energy level? Like, do you kind of give them more of a performance?
Yes.
Or, yeah.
I have this thing where when I start to panic in any way, or I've noticed a technical difficulty, or I've noticed a mistake, I then like step on the gas more, and I want to go harder, and I want to go more nuts, which is sometimes dangerous. Like I ended up blowing out my voice on a tour, doing stuff like that. Like I would have difficulties with my voice. I'd go to one part of a song, I couldn't hit the notes, and then I'd just slam into the part next time around. I'm like, I'm just gonna go crazy then. And then I ended up having to get surgery on my voice.
Oh, no. So,
but
because I would think that's a part of what your performance is, that going crazy. But there is that level. You have to protect yourself.
Yeah.
Because the audience is probably not really noticing that. They're just like going, man, this girl is crazy.
Yeah. No, that is like my, I had a vocal doctor, like a voice doctor, tell me that he was like, okay. He's like, I've listened to your music. It's really cool stuff. He's like, and no offense to your genre. He's like, but it's not just your typical just screaming your ass off. Like, it's like, you have so many characters in your voice. You have so many, like, he was like, you have a good singing voice. He's like, please. He was like, please.
Here it comes though.
Yeah. He was like, please remember that your fans don't come to your shows to watch you bash your head in with a hammer. Like, that's not what they want to see you do with your voice,
But there are times you want to give that.
Yeah. He was like, they don't, they like the songs. He's like, that's all you have to do,
Yeah.
And I still do back bends and kicks and jumps and stuff. So, but I try to be aware of that too. Like, okay. Something went wrong. A cable came unplugged or whatever, right? Yeah. But doesn't mean I have to bash my head in with a hammer.
Well, and truthfully, you're so in tune with that part of what you do. Is the audience in tune with that, though? Do they know that plug came out?
Yeah,
whatever?
No, exactly.
And that's what a professional you are, because you're like, the show must go on. We got to figure this out.
Yeah.
Well, so other than maybe some vocal happenings, have you ever injured yourself?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Oh, man. I dislocated my knee on stage once. That was actually our first time in the UK. My favorite band at the time, like, this band Babes in Toyland. And when I say my favorite band, I mean, like, I had gone as Cat B. Ellen for Halloween, the lead singer. My stepmom made me a Babes in Toyland birthday cake. I like just...
Wait, what kind of birthday cake?
like it was shaped like one of their album covers. She made it was amazing. I think I have a photo of it somewhere. But yeah, wow. I was obsessed. I got all these vinyls that were no longer being pressed. I found the vinyls. Wow. I was just so dedicated. And then that band ended up taking us on tour.
Wow.
And it was their first tour back in the UK, and I don't know how many years, but they're this 90s, aggressive, cool girl band.
So not to switch too much on you, so when that kind of thing happens, do you, reach out to them, say, listen to my stuff, or did they find you and come get you?
Yeah, it was really organic. What happened in that case was we played Minneapolis, and I was well aware that that's where Babes in Toyland's from.
Okay.
And I think I'd sent the drummer a friend request before, and she'd accepted my friend request. So I was like, so I sent her a message. I was like, will you come see us? We're playing. She's like, oh, actually, I live in Austin now.
Oh, wow.
She's like, but please let me know next time you play Austin. So I did. She saw us. She shared our music with the rest of Babes in Toyland. Wow. And then that's how that all happened. And it was really organic, and it was kind of like one of those things I can't believe my luck with, because, I'm sure there's tons of people going, please listen to my band, please come to my show.
Well, what do they say? Kismet, right?
Yeah.
That's meant to happen. That's cool.
It was amazing.
So then this happens and you're there.
Yeah. So then my favorite band in the world We're on tour with them. It's the last show with them of the tour. We had 5 days in the UK. It's Glasgow. And also this night, Kat was like, we have an extra hotel room. Would you like to have one of the hotel rooms at our hotel? And we can hang out after? And I was like, oh, yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I was like, stoked. And like 2 songs in, I dislocate my knee. It's like so gnarly. Like I went too hard and I dislocated my knee. Did finish the show.
Oh, yes, you just,
But I had to spend that in the hospital.
Through. Oh, and not having a cool time in the hotel room.
Yeah, I did not get to hang out at the hotel room, but the lead singer wrote me a note, which I still have. I framed it. It's in my room, and it was,
I would imagine that community, the punk rock community, is a very small, kind of tight-knit, close, very... who knows, who kind of thing. Is that the case?
Absolutely. Like, I don't know. I always hear like, oh, you don't want to meet your idols, but that's not been the case for me. Yeah. I've met a lot of like musicians whose music alone, even if I didn't have a personal connection to them, changed my life. Wow. And then I get to meet them and they're wonderful people. And sometimes me and Peyton make the joke that we have a monopoly on the 90s music scene because first of all, we're totally like die-hard 90s fans, but we've just got to meet like so many of our the musicians we love from that time period. Like I've gotten to meet Shirley Manson, and she's from Garbage, and she's lovely to us. And we worked with Nina and Louise from Veruca Salt, and then Babes in Toyland, and the list goes on. We just met Eddie Vedder, and that was really cool, and he really liked us. He came to it.
That's like a living legend right there.
Yeah, that was a crazy one.
and so are you kind of a giggly schoolgirl kind of thing when you're meeting these guys?
Definitely. I'm just like a giggly schoolgirl anyway, but yeah, definitely when I met Kathleen Hanna from Bikini Kill, I cried.
Oh, wow.
That was a weird one. I just started crying.
Sometimes our emotions just steer us in the weirdest directions.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like this weird thing where it's like so many of these bands had broken up and stuff, and I never thought I'd even get to see them live, and then to know them on this level of not only do I get to see them live, but they know who I am. Yeah. Liz Phair, that was one.
Oh man. So do you see there's sort of a resurgence of these older groups coming back onto the scene? They've never really faded away. They've always been there. But do you find that it's sort of becoming that genre is becoming more well known?
I do think the 90s are kind of getting a big second, a second wave of love. Yeah. And that's pretty cool.
I love how you put that, a second wave of love.
Yeah.
We have to quote that. Look for that on a quote somewhere. I love that.
Yeah.
T-shirts. Let's do it.
Second wave of love, yeah.
I love that.
Aw. No, it's really cool. Like Olivia Rodrigo just covered Veruca Salt's song "Seether." She was playing that on tour, and that's a huge thing. If you're Veruca Salt, having a star like that, or I don't know,
my mom, she told me it's not polite to ask anyone's age, so I'm not going to do that for you. But take me way back in the very beginning. You started writing songs at the ripe old age of
9.
Amazing.
Well, that's for skating poly. My first song, though, I think I was like 2. I was like in the car seat. Yeah, just.
And you're just back there, just making up words.
Just singing was my thing. Just singing and coming up with melodies, and coming up with words, and just coming up with stories. I think whenever my dad played me like a mix of very like whimsical music like the Beatles and Regina Spektor, which paint these stories that even if you don't know the personal connection, you can picture a story, right? Like Beatles songs. Like you don't have to know what it's literally about in their life, because you can just know the story of Rocky Raccoon, But then also my dad played a lot of like minimalistic music, just like Kimmy Dawson, Beat Happening. White Stripes are minimalistic in a lot of ways. Yeah. Even Nirvana, so like, and that gave me this feeling of like, and he always said it too, like anyone can make art. It's just about being authentically you and putting your full self in it. It's not about how technically talented you are. It's just like you like the song you made, so you make that song,
Well, I think what I heard you say is you also understood the music. You're young, but you're listening to this and you're understanding there's a story behind it. You know? I recall listening to music, but I'm just like, hey, it's a cool beat, whenever I like it. But I think that's a gift, a talent that you zeroed in on. You understood that. So then that probably would help you write it as well.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Maybe so. Yeah. I've always loved it. I don't know. Yeah. I liked singing, and I liked these stories that I heard, and music just, I don't know, like when I go on a walk and I have my AirPods in, you know, I'm listening to it, like, it's like I just had this euphoric, like I was in a movie for 30 minutes while I was listening to music, you know?
Right?
Yeah.
Well, and I tell you, that's what we're all about, is your gracious space.
Yeah.
And that's it. It doesn't have to be a brick and mortar or something like zen and kind of romantic.
Yeah.
I mean, this is your happy place, right?
Yeah.
Your zone.
Yeah. No, that's funny, because I was thinking of all these kind of more places, and then it's funny to like just like that just naturally came out. That's totally my gracious space, is like just listening, and honestly, sometimes with people, sure, but by myself. When you just have full control of your own soundtrack, there's no, you know what I mean? It's like you're not worried what anyone else thinks of this and that part of the song or that singer's voice. You're just like. This is you
are killing it with the quotes here. When you're in control of your own soundtrack. I love that. We're going to have a whole line of T-shirts.
Nice, good,
I love this. When you're in control of your own soundtrack.
Yeah.
That's huge, I think. I love that.
Yeah.
So then you start writing this music, and how many instruments do you play?
Well, I used to always be like, I can't play any instrument. I just play with a bunch, you know, like I used to say that. And then I read like Kim Gordon and Carrie Brownstein both said stuff like that too. And then they were both like, oh, but maybe that's diminishing of my own. So I don't know. I play in a very self-taught way a few instruments. I play guitar, again, nothing too crazy. I play a 3-string bass of my own tuning.
Okay.
I play keyboard. I kind of play ukulele. I never really do anymore. I used to play drums, and now not so much. And then I sing. And I think and I guess I play 4-string bass. I do play 4-string bass.
There's that one too.
The normal bass.
But singing is your passion. That's kind of you excel at that.
Yeah.
And so I've heard you mention your family. Your brother, he's in the band.
Yeah.
I think your stepsister's also in the band. So clearly, you're growing up. Your parents encouraged this.
Yeah.
They wanted you to become this. Find your own path kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that must have felt good growing up, I think.
No, like absolutely. My parents like had instruments, and it was never like, this is my thing.
Right.
But also, I mean, they taught us how to handle them without just, destroying their instruments. But they were really encouraging, like, go write a song, go for it, And my dad actually tried to teach me guitar so many times, and I hated it. I hated guitar. I was like, I want to play bass. But whenever he first started teaching me, my arms were too short to reach all the way down the bass. Okay. And we didn't know about short scale basses. That's actually what I play now, is just a shorter bass. So he's like, what are we going to do? She hates playing guitar. She wants to play bass. She can't even reach the bass, but she just wants to write songs. And so he heard about this instrument that was called the bass guitar, and it was invented by this band, the Presidents of the United States of America. And is like 2 bass strings on a guitar body. So that's kind of what my bass started as, and then I modified it. I added another string, and I put it on a different thing. But basically, that was really easy for me to play, because I had those thick strings, and I didn't have to learn chord shapes, and I could just go.
Knock it out.
Yeah. And my parents were incredibly supportive. I mean, my mom, my dad, my stepmom, my stepdad, everyone.
And so when you write music, do you have a ritual where you sit, or do things just pop in your head? All of the above? Yeah,
a little bit all of the above. I think anytime I'm writing words, then I'm very aware that later, it's like even if I'm not, I don't have a melody with the words, I'm aware that the poem or whatever I'm putting together could later be a song, and I just it's like for the bank, And then usually whenever I go to sit down and write a song, I come up with melody first, and so sometimes I go through and try for, okay, what's in the word bank? What do we have? What do we come up with? And then sometimes I'm just like, no, this is what's on my mind. This is what I'm feeling right now.
Emotions.
Or just that phrase just fell out of my mouth. What does that mean? Oh, it's weird. That actually kind of reminds me of this thing. So that's, I think usually I sit down and start mumbling a melody and then find what fits that melody. Or doesn't, or purposefully doesn't fit that mood. Like, is like really sad lyrics for this chipper melody because I think that's more interesting. I don't know.
And have you ever sort of scratched something like you're into it and you're like, this is garbage and goes away, but it resurfaces in your life?
Oh yeah,
that's cool.
Absolutely, actually. Like we just had a song on our record, Chaos County Line. It's a double record, and I like revamped what's the word I'm trying to find, but we pulled this song out that was from like 2011. I was 11 years old.
Wow.
And it was called Party House, and it was just this really simple song about how I want to live in this party house and have all my friends over, and then someone parties too much and wants to leave the party house. And I was like, but basically like
excuse me.
No, yeah, of course. We made this album of like 17 they were all very heavy songs, heavy either like musically or lyrically. And Brad was like, you need like the producer, Brad Wood, he was like, you need like a campfire sing-along, like something just with some levity to it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't have anything like that. Everything I've written's
so why
moody.
would I? Okay.
And I was like, wait. Young Me does. Young Me has a song like that. And we pulled up the YouTube video of us playing it, and then we and then we ended up getting our whole family to sing on it, which was really cool. It was like,
dad, everything?
Yeah, well, my whole family in Washington. So my mom's not on it. Sorry, Mom. I know she wishes she was on it. But my stepmom's on it. My dad's on it. My dad's mother, so my grandma's on it. My cousin who lives with us is on it. And Kurt's girlfriend's on it. And so we had this like big chorus of voices. And
love that.
So sweet.
So you're growing up, you're listening to this music, you're writing some music. What led you toward the punk scene? What sort of gravitated you to that? Being
jagged, not being tidy. Yeah. That's definitely what it was. Like and a lot of punk bands, they then bust out that soft side. Like X, who I'm obsessed with X. Yeah. They can do their quiet mode, like their record Unclogged, which is like their acoustic live album. I love that. Yeah. I love that they take these really fast, aggressive songs like Because I Do, and then they just stretch them out, and it's like, whoa, look at the poetry there. Yeah. Like I like seeing the softer side, but then I also like the permission of ugliness, right? Of the rough around the edges, and that's what it was.
Yeah. Did you listen to any other type of music growing up? Yeah. What?
Pop. I mean, but when I say pop, people get mad at me and be like, that's not pop. That's indie pop. But I love I don't know, I love an acoustic singer-songwriter, and I love like indie pop. Mm-hmm. Me and my sister really love Elliott Smith and Neutral Milk Hotel, but I really love Regina Spektor. Fiona Apple's like one of my maybe my all-time favorite songwriter. Yeah. Liz Phair's also up there. I don't know what you'd call her. I guess indie. Yeah. I don't know. So, but then, I also listen to rap. Yeah. But it's funny too, because so my dad is like, he's got great taste in music. He's showed me so much music. And because of that, like me, Curtis, my dad, my stepmom, and Peyton, my sister, we all kind of will show each other music almost competitively, or someone will show you something and then you'll become the most obsessed with it. Like it's when Peyton or Curtis or my dad become really obsessed with the band, then I feel like they're doing it for me, and there's no point. It's like I can enjoy it a little, but it's like, oh no, they're the real, lover of that.
So is there any competition between you and your siblings?
Definitely a little bit. Yeah. Like, I don't know. We just, from just like board games, sure. But then also, I don't know. I think we are competitive. That being said, like me and Peyton and Curtis have a really good, safe space when it comes to creating. Yeah. It's never trying to whack down each other's ideas in a mean way ever. Yeah. Cool. So that's cool. And also I don't think me and Peyton really ever argue about, I want to sing that. No, I want to sing that. It's never like that. It's like, what if we sing this together? Ooh, actually, I'm going to sing this part. So
and I would imagine you play off of each other's energy as well on stage. Just like when that button comes off or chord comes on and you're going nuts. They're like, yeah, we want to go right there with it. And then they would go down that path.
No, we definitely play off each other's energy. I really like, I like swinging around and like shooting a smile or something at them. And I don't know, me and Peyton have been doing this thing. Yeah, it's total gratitude. Me and Peyton do this thing where it's like, it's so corny actually. Sometimes we'll just look at each other with like big doe eyes. Like, can you believe this? Like, we'll be in the middle of a really aggressive song and then we'll just like look at each other.
You know, I bet the crowd goes nuts though. They're like, look at this going on here. Yeah. Well, so you've just come off of a little mini tour, I'll call it, in the Seattle area. You're about to head off to Europe. So, and then you've got your in-between life. So, like, I know this seems kind of silly, but packing, what the hell? It's like, you're living from suitcase to suitcase, like some people would say. Is that something you enjoy in your life? You just roll with it?
I just roll with it at this point, and everyone always makes fun of me because I always bring too much stuff wherever I go to because I love clothes, but then I also hate clothes, and clothes make me anxious. Like, I don't hate clothes, but I just am like, oh, what if I don't want to wear that today? Like,
options. You gotta have options. With
so
you, right?
I have giant suitcases all unzipped in various forms of folded and just dirty clothes shoved in all over my room, and that's basically the constant state I live in. And then I go, you know what? I'm gonna clean this up. I'm gonna get this all organized, and then it's like 2 days later. Oh, I'm leaving again, and then it's just back to chaos. I pack something and then I leave, and I come back to it.
Well, when you are in those different cities, do you allow some you time to kind of go and explore the cities? Shop. I think I would fair to say you have a little vintage vibe going here. You love probably thrifting and vintage stores.
Thrifting. Yeah, I love thrifting
and
vintage stores.
You time when you're
definitely
in these cities?
We get to do that. I feel like on tour, if you kind of have the choice between like. That's another thing, like having a tour manager as opposed to like me and Peyton and Curtis picking our own schedule. It's like you do have a choice. Like, do we want to stay in the hotel till checkout and then just get to the venue right whenever we're supposed to be there? Or do we want to like, let's actually make ourselves get up, like let's go, and then we could go walk around a waterfall, or we could, do a thrift store or whatever. But you always do have a pocket after sound check in the show. Mm-hmm. So that's a really good time to like go on a walk and find a thrift store or whatever, especially if you're like, if the venue's in the actual city. Sometimes you're on the outskirts and your venue's the only thing.
Middle of nowhere kind of thing.
Yeah. So yes, we do get to do that. And I really like it.
Any favorite cities that stand out to you that you really enjoy playing?
Yeah. I love Berlin. I really do. They have a flea market, I think on Mondays or Sundays or something like that. It's weird because whatever day it is, it's either Monday or Sunday. Everything else in the city is basically closed, but they have this like flea market during the day. We've got a lot of cool stuff from that. And then they also have like film photo booths everywhere. I love a photo booth.
Okay.
So they like when cool. Like their photo booths. So like they have ink. Like you pull it out and it's still wet.
So just kind of randomly on the streets.
Yeah. Okay. Honestly, in Berlin, it's really awesome. Cool. Berlin's a cool city. Yeah. Okay. I like Barcelona because it's just beautiful. I don't know. It's like, this is like the thing. I feel like in every country I have a favorite city. In France, my favorite city, no offense to Paris. I love you, Paris, but it's probably Bordeaux. Bordeaux's really pretty. Scotland, we're about to go back to Edinburgh. It looks like Edinburgh if you're an American, but I'm pretty sure it's like Edinburgh. Yeah. Anyway, so we're going back there, and then we always play Glasgow, which I love.
Yeah, fun cities. Maybe you want to travel now.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really hard to pick. It's like I right whenever we leave a country and go to the next, I'm just starting to be frustrated with the one thing about that country, and then it's like, ooh, new country. You know what I mean? Like it's like
you move on.
Yeah.
So for everyone listening, tell them how they can find your music. Where can they go and listen to you?
Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon Music, Tidal, if that's still a thing. And then we have a ton of music videos on YouTube.
Great.
We have like over 30 music videos.
And that's under Skating Polly?
It's all under Skating Polly. Yeah. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We're on X or Twitter. I don't know. I never check that. Curtis basically runs our Twitter. Okay.
Well, Kelli, it's been such a pleasure sitting with you and chatting. Thank you for your time. You're a very busy lady.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And you're welcome anytime. Please come back.
Okay, I will.
And have a good day, folks.